welcome to the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie, powered in part by Classic of Denton.
Hey, hi, how is everybody? I'm ready to be back here in the studio. I am so happy to be here today on this beautiful day. It's warm on the square. I am Diva Girl Ellie, and you're listening to the Denton Vibe here on DentonRadio.com. Today we have Jasmine Morris here with CholoRock Collective, and we're going to be talking about what she does here with CholoRock. And go ahead, let's get right into it.
All right. Yeah, the CholoRock Dance Collective was founded originally as CholoRock Dance Theater by Jose Zamora. And we were just talking about this. I believe it was 2010 at TWU. He used it as his MFA culminating project.
Oh, nice.
And we met there, and we taught at a studio here in town together, and we just kind of, became best friends. And we danced together, and then he moved back home to South Texas, and I took over the company, and so we became the CholoRock Dance Collective in January of 2016. And so now that is the official company, is the CholoRock Dance Collective, and we are a nonprofit organization.
Very cool. So we're going to talk more detailed about it in just a second, but let's talk about how did you get here? How did you arrive in Denton, or have you always lived in Denton? Who's Jasmine?
Well, I was born and raised in Denton, Texas.
Really?
Denton's my hometown.
Nice.
My parents met here in the early 80s,
Wow.
and they fell in love, and then they had me. So, yeah, I'm born and raised native.
It's,
native.
A lot of people, are students, and they obviously come to Denton for school and whatnot, but it's I'm not going to say it's rare, but it's not as often as you would think that we'd get born and raised Dentonites here.
I'm very proud of it. I love my little town. It's kind of why I never left. I mean, I've got to travel and do some really amazing things, but I've never really wanted to call anywhere else home.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm from.
Yeah, it has a way of warming people's hearts.
It does.
And
a lot of people they come and then they don't leave.
Yeah, or they leave and they're like, what was I thinking?
I
need to go back. Yeah. I remember when I first moved here, I was in shock. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so different than Dallas.
It is.
But it grew on me really quickly, and obviously I had to put my hands and everything here in Denton. So I'm still here to stay. That's guys. Good. I'm sorry y'all aren't getting rid of me.
And I like it because we're near Dallas, we're near Austin, we're near Houston, we're near bigger places to go do, go see cool concerts or go travel or go do whatever, but we're still here.
Yeah, exactly.
I can always come back.
So born and raised in Denton, okay?
Yes.
And how did you start with this? Was this something you always did as far as dance, and something you always had a passion for? A lot of people just fall into their talents. Other people are like, no, I knew from the very beginning.
Yeah, I started taking dance when I was 8 or 9. My stepsister and I just bugged the crap out of my mom, and we're like, hey, we want to take dance lessons. She's like, okay. And we randomly did it, and it just stuck, and I kept doing it all throughout. My sister stopped about middle school age just because athletics and different stuff like that, but I kept going with it, and I ended up having to pick between soccer and dance about which one I was going to pursue seriously and possibly beyond high school. And in retrospect, I might have been a better soccer player than a dancer, but I picked dance, and I don't regret it at all. And then I ended up at Texas Women's University, where I was a history major and a dance minor. But I grew up teaching here at a studio in town called Denton Dance Conservatory, and that's where I got all of my training from Lisa Racina.
Oh, very interesting.
Yes.
So, okay, let's go ahead and dissect the CholoRock Collective. Okay, I had not heard of it. I mean, I don't know if it was, you said it's been around since
about 2010, I'd say.
And so, it's surprising that I had not heard of it, because obviously we are very, very drenched in the arts and in dance, and, we have the music, or the Denton Music Theater, and we have all the stuff going on at the campus theater and stuff like that. So when I saw it, I ran across it. I believe it was on Facebook. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Well, the name alone caught my attention, which it's a very interesting name. And we'll talk about that in a minute too. So I was like, click. And I was like, wait a minute. This is a dance collective. Where? Because I'm going to go enroll and dance, But because I'm nosy, I went in and I was like, what's going on here? How come I don't know about this?
Yeah.
Huh? And so I clicked on it, and I was like, wait a minute, they're in Denton. I was like, wait, So I just was very curious. And then it was so funny because after that, I kept seeing it pop up. And I'm like, I guess I just didn't have my eyes open or something, because obviously it was active.
Or it's those computer algorithms and they're like following you.
Yes.
And you're like, stop.
Then the stalking began.
Then the internet stalking begins.
Yeah, there you go. No, but so I was very interested in it. And obviously you guys do a lot of stuff. And you guys are very active in the community. And tell me from the beginning, as far as, you don't have to go into the history of how, all the details, but what kind of things do you do? What is it that you offer? When somebody walks into CholoRock Collective, what are they going to expect?
So from the get-go, Jose's kind of vision and then mine growing up in this community, and we kind of had the same mindset in regards to community relationships and dance education and how it can help young kids, and what a great outlet dance is, and the arts in general, but obviously dance is the one that I picked. And so that's just kind of was our goal set, was to just be very community involved, and it's about community enrichment and about dance education and about just letting people know, like, hey, there's dance, there's cultural dance, there's fine art dance, there's social dance, and we are all just kind of one big hodgepodge of it. So our work will contain a piece with, skirting from Veracruz or whatever, and then we'll have some jazz, and then we'll have a little bit of footwork, and then, we'll go into some ballet, because I was trained in ballet. So it's just kind of an all-encompassing thing, but our goal is to really just be a part of the community. And I'm working on right now getting some sort of summer program going. I don't know if it's going to be just kids or adults. I need to know more about what people are wanting from us. Because we have a little bit of everything. One of our girls is a yoga instructor. Like I said, myself and a few others we're public high school teachers for dance. So we can do folklorico, we can do yoga, I can do ballet, like we can do all kinds of stuff. And it's just kind of, now I'm trying to get the feelers out about what people would want to learn from us. And then obviously, in addition to that, it's just we want to perform as much as we can, because it's what we love to do.
Definitely. That's what your art is all about. So you guys, if you guys are tuning in and watching this and you are interested in joining a dance collective, or, you're just curious, you never know, maybe you never know, she may offer drop-in sessions or whatnot, then follow her page and get connected to her and the collective group. But also just, community enrichment is a big deal here. We're very involved in Denton. So one of the things that I always cherish is anytime there's a diverse addition to the community, folklorico dancing, you'll see it, and you'll even catch it at Jazz Fest, which is a beautiful, beautiful art. I always wanted to do that,
I know. I grew up too late, and I was like, dang it.
I mean, I've never wanted to be like a dancer,
Right.
but folklorico is a beautiful dance.
It's beautiful, and it's so interesting because Mexico is so diverse, and they're the states are so different and so culturally enriched themselves that it's it's not just folklorico is a very broad term, but you can go into months and years of research and breaking down what
the regions
and what skirts are specific to what region and what dance step is specific to what region and the history behind those. And I just love that it's so full and it's not just like one thing all
the time. And you're right, it is very, like you mentioned, Veracruz, that's deeper south, and you're really close to Central and South America, so their influences are very infused. And no, it's not all the same. They're different countries and different continent
and
altogether.
I have to say that because I learned a lot of this from my time at TWO and with Jose and a little bit growing up, but I didn't realize, that there is a specific dress for Oaxaca versus Veracruz versus Jalisco, and how different they really are if you are educated on those subjects and know. So sometimes we're like, that's not the right dress for that dance. You know what I mean? You're like, but it's nice to know your history and know your culture and always learn more about it. Be open to learning more about it.
Yeah. So okay, you guys offer. You mentioned folklorico and you said jazz and a little bit of ballet. And what else did you say?
One of our dancers, her name's Caitlin. She works at Twisted Bodies down here on Elm Street, and she is a yoga instructor. Myself and a girl named Hannah, we teach jazzercise here in Denton. So we all have an all-encompassing. We're a jack of all trades.
So where do you guys teach at?
So Hannah and I, there's a jazzercise center here in Denton called Denton Jazzercise, and that is where we do our classes at. But then like we've had fundraisers before and stuff. We'll have like a come dance with CholoRock for a night, and we'll just do kind of like a basic like little warm up, a little bit of conditioning, and then we had them learn like a tiny snippet of some of our choreography at the end of it. And just stuff like that, just little fun things, if you want to come work out, if you used to dance and you haven't in a while and you want to come get back into it, like anything like that, we're all about it.
So when you go into more in depth with your classes, obviously you are a collective group and your goal is to be performing.
Yes.
So how do people get involved with that as far as, let's say it's a beginner versus someone who has been dancing for a while? I mean, do you guys have different levels of?
I base it a lot off of energy, because that is what Jose based it off of. He was not a classically or technically trained dancer. He's very talented and very lucky, but he started with the color guard when he was in high school, and that's where he got into just kind of like performing and basic dance classes, versus whereas me and a few of the other girls, we were lucky enough to be afforded the opportunity growing up to take ballet and jazz and be at a studio and have, our parents had the money to pay for that, and not a lot of kids do. So the group, as it was officially and like at the very beginning, was about what's your energy? What are you bringing to the table? Maybe you are bringing like some great technique and, 3 turns in a row or whatever, but do you have great performance energy? Like who are you as a performer? Who are you as an artist? And if you can bring that, and, maybe if you're a little rough around the edges and some of the other aspects, that wasn't an issue. So it's all just kind of about energy and what you want to add to the name, like CholoRock, and what does it mean to you?
Okay, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk, what does CholoRock Collective mean? Where did you guys get the name? Because to me, when I hear something like that, it puts a certain image in my head, but obviously things and terms evolve now, especially with social media, and so it may be a completely different thing. So what does it mean?
So like I said at the beginning, Jose, we're both Mexican American. And he always talked about how cholo just kind of had this like negative connotation. You're a cholo, you're a gang member, it's not a good life, whatever. And he said, but I wanted to take the negative out of that and just still have that cholo lifestyle of I'm from South Texas and this is my family and these are my people and this is what we do. But then we have the American lifestyle of like the rock and the rock and roll and to fuse the two together, because we always joke about how our dads are, very proud of where they come from, very proud of Mexico. And if you see them, you would know, but they love like Elvis and they love the Beatles, and growing up like that was their youth. And so he just kind of married the two together and wanted to get away from that negative connotation of the word cholo or chola for that matter. And then for me, just growing up in North Texas and, I was very dark complected. I look a lot like my father, but my mother has blonde hair and blue eyes. And so I lived a very biracial existence. I had to be very white for some people and very like Mexican for some others. And now I've found like, just I'm me and I don't have to be one or the other, and I can celebrate both and it's fine. So that's kind of took on a new meaning for me when I got the company, but it originated with the idea of just cholo versus rock.
And a lot of people are, that's why I said a lot of the terms that were previously, you think of one thing and now it has progressed into something. And I like the fact that you have, like you said, he married the two terms, and now he put the art into the cholo, which is, very unique in and of itself to use that term and make it something. And I mean, it's a nonprofit now, so it's very, very amazing. So what are your age groups that you have that you cater to as far as your dance collective? I
mean, right now, I guess we're mostly just like a performing group for us. So my girls, I think my youngest one is probably like 20 or 19. They all college girls and stuff, all the way up to 30s in the 30s. But we, like I said, we all grew up teaching at Denton Dance Conservatory. So a lot of us teach, I teach kiddos as young as 3 up to like high schoolers. And then our Daniel, who is in the company, he works at Skyline now. So he only teaches at Skyline High School in Dallas. So he teaches high schoolers in Dallas. And another girl named Hannah, who dances with us, she's at Thomas Jefferson in Dallas. So they deal with specifically high schoolers. Jose has taught both high school and college. I have done a little bit of college and high school all the way down to babies. So we're all just kind of, all taught, we're all teachers at heart.
That is a wide variety. Skyline in the house, guys. I went to Skyline and graduated from there, so I have to, throw the shout out to Skyline alumni. I had to. I was like, hey, what school were you teaching? You're like, I taught at Skyline.
Skyline, I do. Big old campus.
Yes, I was just talking to her about how to this day, I still have dreams of not being able to get to the bus on time. Because if you miss that bus from Skyline, your mom is going to have to drive an hour in traffic across Dallas. Yeah, that's an issue. I would have grounded me had I missed the bus.
I would have been mad at me too if I'd done that.
That and carrying 10 books in between classes because your locker was literally a mile away.
They gave us that tour and I was like, there's how many buildings?
Oh, yeah. There was at least, 8 buildings?
Well, they were like, they just kept going like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And I was like, why are we still going?
And one of them had 3 floors. The other ones had 2 floors.
Yes.
God forbid you were out of those main buildings and had to walk across the campus. It was like, we need golf carts.
Depending on what cluster you were in.
Oh, yes.
So, so we're all dance educators and we all, love kiddos and dance was a big part of our lives growing up, be it in the drill team or ballet or whatever. And it's really important to us to keep it going in this community. And even 2 of our dancers, before you go on to a performance, instead of saying like break a leg or good luck, in the ballet world, you say merde, which is like good luck, M-E-R-D-E. And 2 of our dancers went to our teacher growing up, Lisa Racina, and they had her write the word in her handwriting and they got it tattooed on them because that's she was our dance mama and we got good training from her.
That's really an amazing story and a testimony to how influential she was in your lives.
Yes. So
that is so awesome. So speaking of influential, how do you manage children in a dance class? Because for one, their attention span is probably off the charts. Their emotions are a little bit wacky because they're like, who are you and why am I in here and where's mom and dad? And then again you have the little superstars that are like ready to take on the world and they're like, show me, I'm gonna do this. So what kind of stuff?
You just have to find like a nice balance, and obviously different age groups you kind of use different things, but little babies, you really just have to keep their attention span the whole time and make sure that they're having fun and turn everything into a game or make it be their choice. Miss Jasmine, I need to go to the bathroom right now. I'm like, well, is it an emergency or can you wait? Because if you wait, we're going to do the dance one more time. Oh, okay, I can wait. You know what I mean? It's just like you give them the choice, versus like, no, you can't,
Yes.
And then obviously once they get a little older, it's just kind of a balance of pushing them to their best. But, some kids respond differently. So some kids respond better if you almost ignore them completely in class because they're shy and they don't want to be called out. Then there's other ones that are like, I need it.
Yeah.
And so then you have to be on them. But kids are really cool and, they find something that they're passionate about. They'll work hard for you. And they see, they'll ask you questions like, oh, you performed there? You did that? And you're like, yeah, I did. And they're like, oh,
And kids are sponges.
They are. So you just have to find a connection with them.
Yes.
And it can be something completely unrelated to what you're doing, like, oh my gosh, I have the same dog as you. Or, I went to that high school or, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just something you find and connect with them. And then, you take it from there.
Yeah, it is very interesting to teach children. I, very long time ago, was a teacher aide at a charter school, and I had pre-K through 4th grade. And I remember they gave me a bag of music books, and they said, you need to teach the kids before tutoring how to sing and do little. I'm like, okay. I mean, I was in choir. I love to sing and stuff. Like, okay, so we've got this. We've got this. And so I was like, oh my gosh, they have sign language in here. I'm like, there's no way they're going to learn sign language at pre-K level, kindergarten. Yeah. I was very surprised. I remember the first time they were doing their little signs, I started crying. I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a goober.
Well, it's very like, it's very validifying and you're just like, that's awesome. And I mean, people are like, how do those 4-year-olds remember that dance? I'm like, well, they know enough. You do it enough times and
repetition.
You make them have ways of remembering it. You know, it's easy to get like a song with fun words and they're like, oh, and that word, we always do this.
Actions and body movements. You'd be surprised how influential all of that stuff is. And it's just fun to watch kids unroll and unravel in their, you know, arts like that and stuff. So what kind of dance do you show them? Is it specific to?
For the example, for the studio that I work at, it's usually like little babies do ballet tap combo class.
Nice.
And then older girls will do ballet technique like twice a week and jazz once a week and stuff like that. We have gone to, I believe it was Oak Point Elementary out off 380, and did a career day there where we kind of explained the difference between jazz and ballet and folklorico and all of the different career paths you could take with dance. You know, you can be a teacher, you can be a performer, you can be a choreographer, and we kind of went all out. So it's dependent upon like the setting, but I was really trying to get together or thinking about doing a summer camp late in July and just seeing if I could do a little combo of everything.
Yeah.
But I love how, for example, like Newton Razor and Woodrow Wilson both have folklorico performing companies for the kiddos there.
Yeah.
And it's fabulous, and they're very well put together, and they always look so polished, and it's awesome.
You would be surprised. I really hope you do that. Honestly, if you do, please let me know when you have your events, if you do that for children. I don't have kids, but I'm a huge advocate of, and that's why I'm talking a lot about the kids' point of this. We always talk about adults doing this and that around Denton, and it's very rare we get someone who caters to children, and I'm sure there's plenty of other people here that cater to children. So we're just, we have you on here.
Yes.
There's tons of young adult parents and, older parents with kids that are ready to take on the world. It's really important to let everybody know that they have these programs out there, especially something so enriched in culture like that. So if you ever do that, let me know so I can come out and take photos.
My brain's going right now. There's a huge to-do list.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you're just like me. I had my clock set to an hour. I'm like, I haven't changed it since the hour change, and I'm functioning somehow. So, what do you guys have coming up? What's on the radar for you guys?
Well, we just performed at Denton Arts and Jazz Festival, which was super awesome and fun, and it was actually my birthday. So I got to perform on my birthday.
That's amazing.
Do what I love, my birthday, and then got to walk around all day and stuff. So that was super cool. And the next thing coming up for us is going to be our summer concert. It will actually be held at Twisted Bodies in their warehouse space, which is beautiful. And thank you, ladies, for letting us use the space.
Yeah.
But that will be June 29th and 30th, which is a Friday and a Saturday. Same show both nights. So you pick either one or come to both.
Yeah.
And it'll be a full-length concert right around at an hour, maybe a little over. We try and do a full-length concert once a year, and the summer, just with all of our teaching schedules, seems to work the best. But we've had last year we had it at the Black Box Theater, right off the square here, and the year before that we've had it at the Greater Denton Arts Council, Patterson, Appleton Performing Arts Center. So we've just kind of been trying to pick different venues. Just we just want to be all around Denton and support everyone. But yeah, it's a summer concert. Our theme this year is love.
Oh, very cool.
So just kind of all aspects of love, and that's just where the kind of inspiration for the choreographies come from. A lot of new works by myself and other company members. And yeah, it should be a good show. $10 at the door. And come and hang out.
Definitely.
Come and see us perform.
That would be an awesome night. It would be a great date night too, I think. Just to come.
It's nice, and it's a cool little space, and it's right off the square, so you're already close. And last summer I was ridiculously pregnant and performing. So this year I will not be pregnant and performing. I'm very excited about it.
Congratulations on the baby, by the way.
Yes, I had a big old belly last summer at our concert, and I was like, gotta get stuff done.
So you got a to-do list, and you're checking it off.
I checked it off. I was like, all right. And then after that, I was like, I'm done. until she's here, I can't do it anymore.
Oh my goodness, she's got you busy, that's for sure.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and plug in all your social media. And where can people find you? whether it be Facebook, social, Twitter, whatever.
Well, my name's Jasmine Morris again, and I'm on Facebook, and I post all kinds of things about the company all the time. I'm sure some people get tired of it, but it's fine. It's what I do, so just accept it. And then we're the CholoRock Dance Collective on Facebook. On Instagram, we are at CholoRock DC 16. Our Snapchat, I believe, is the same, and then our Twitter, I don't know, because that is in charge of one of our younger girls, because I don't do Twitter. But I'm sure if you search CholoRock on Twitter, I think you'll find it.
Yeah, definitely. We were talking about Twitter earlier, and I
don't tweet.
I don't tweet. I'm not
sorry, guys. I don't. Instagram was. I thought it was cool then, and that's about it. It's about as cool as I can get.
It's hard to keep up with all of that.
It's really hard, and I'm not very good at it. So like bare minimum. But we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook. Those are most often used. But for the show and stuff, we'll do some live feeds via Twitter and.
Okay, and they'll find the calendar of events and invitations on Facebook.
Yes, I try and post events. We also have, I forgot about this, we also have a fundraiser coming up at the beginning of June. It'll be Saturday, June 9th.
Okay.
And it is a cornhole tournament. So the bags where you toss the bean bags into the hole. And we just go out all day, and it's a big tournament. Usually last summer we had... I want to say at least 15 to 20 teams.
Oh, wow.
And there's bracket. Yeah. And there's brackets, and you just come out with your chairs and your coolers, and you hang out all day, and you get called over the big intercom to go play, and you play.
Nice.
The prize was free tickets, and you get a trophy, and just all kinds of stuff. It's just a really fun day. It's $20 per team, cash at the event, and all of the funds go to us and renting out our theater space and buying new costumes, and
it's a lot of work and money behind all
decorations.
Of that.
It's a lot of work. This is pretty much our biggest fundraiser that we do throughout the year, and it really helps us. The event is on our page on Facebook as well as my personal page. So look it up. It's called the annual cornhole debacle tournament hosted by my big sister. But yeah, it's out in Ponder on a nice piece of land, and you just go out and have a good day.
That does sound like a good event to be at, and definitely we have the country space out here for it.
Definitely.
Speaking of events, I am going to go ahead and plug in a few of mine, if you don't mind.
No problem.
First of all, I apologize if you could hear my stomach growling. It was growling through the whole. There it goes again. So speaking of food, if you guys have not had a chance to go out and eat at Taqueria Miguelitos on University, you guys have to get out there. I am telling you, it is awesome Mexican food, authentic Mexican food. And I kid you not, if you go out there, Miguel will take care of you. Miguel, if you're watching, está bien rica la comida. Okay, so that is something you want to check out. It's over there on University. Lost Poet Lounge, that's my baby. We'll be having an event this week, and that's going to be Thursday, May 10th at Wine Squared. Come out, have a drink. We're going to have our performers perform to music. So it's going to be music-induced, wine-infused. Yes. So you got to mix the two, and we're going to have a great show there. Lost Poet Lounge is also doing a workshop, and it's a very cozy, comfortable workshop where we're just literally going to have a round table of poetic minds at Juice Lab May 19th at 1 p.m. Come out. If you guys want to learn how to get started, never performed, want to know how we are inspired as poets, how to do something, we're going to have a good collection of people there together. So if you want to just ask questions or just be around poets, just come hang out with us at Juice Lab. Get some goodies and yummies at Juice Lab. Thank you, Lonnie, for having us there. And thank you, George and Brooke, for having us at Wine Square again. So those are the events. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for coming on and talking about CholoRock Collective. I am so glad that you're here doing that and sharing that talent with the community. And I cannot wait to go see one of your performances.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me.
Definitely.
Love this.
Yeah, we'll have you guys back, and I am looking forward to see what you do with this summer and see what ends up happening with you guys.
Yes, I will brainstorm, and I'll let everyone know as soon as I get my life together. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
Hey, that happens to mamas. It's okay.
Fine. Yeah,
Hey, you got a lot on your plate, and we definitely know how that is. So thank you for being here and taking the time out. Now you can go back to your little girl.
Yes. We love Denton. We love our community. And
definitely.
We love CholoRock, so.
Thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you for joining us. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you next week.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicOfDenton.com.